All right, today in class I'd like to talk about fracking. Fracking here in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has a really large natural resource called natural gas. And what companies do is they see this as an opportunity to get profit. And they start drilling operations on the ground looking for natural gas. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is how this happened and what it's doing to the communities all around. Fracking. What they do is they drill it into the ground, use chemicals to soften the layers of the earth to break it down, and to get these gases that are trapped underground. They also use radioactive elements as well, which if it was properly used, might not harm, but it's like, in terms, it does harm, like underground waters and other stuff as well. Fracking leaves dangers with chemicals and how the communities are affected by it. These chemicals go into water supplies, and people who drink them feel ill or get burns from the water. It also makes the water flammable, causing danger to the home. Like, either it might catch on fire if somebody lights the water, or a person might catch on fire as well. Communities been struggling with that for a while. Well, they didn't face that problem when fracking wasn't around their area, but once it moved to their area, then they started seeing the problem. And the reason why these communities are being affected by fracking is the companies are basically like buying the government so that they can pay to mine on these grounds and try to get profit from it. And for the most part, the government doesn't really punish them that often, or enforce laws onto them. And one of the things I got from the Philadelphia Inquirer is that these companies don't have to hand in the government a list of all the chemicals they use. So that means they're allowed to like put all these random chemicals that people might say that's really iffy to put in our ground. And it's like, well, the companies will think it's safe enough to have them, and abuse their power and harm the local communities. The government hardly fines them either, and still today companies still are mining in these in Pennsylvania for natural gases. All right. To conclude, my speech is fracking it's dangerous to the public's health because it's dangerous because people might not know much about it and why all these chemicals are being poured into the ground, and it's affecting our water supply, and also it also messes up the natural environment around it too, because we're drilling for trapped gases underneath the planet. And usually what we're doing is like leaving these areas livable. Like, you can't really live in these areas. You have to move out because there's nothing you can't sustain life there. And that's all I have.
Good.